Hi everybody, welcome back to another video including a little bit of a championship mix-up. Me and Joe have wanted to do this for quite a while actually. And we're just going to go through a few things, well, across the championship really. We're going to touch on a few clubs, touch on a few managers, players, etc, etc. So yeah, let's get into it. So Joe, I guess my first question would be to you. Who are the top managers this season? Who have your standouts been? Obviously, there's Marcelo. But you know, who have done a cracking job for you?
We've spoke about him before. Chrissy Wilder.
Yeah.
Top manager. I like Paul Cook, and I know I just think it's because I like Paul Cook. I like what he's done with Wigan.
He's done a good job, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know they're down there, but I'm a fan of Paul Cook. Daniel Farker, like you said, he's turned it around. We've said it before, you know what I mean? And I guess the worry is that this might come top heavy with teams that are at the top of the division, but ultimately it's going to be because they're at the top of the division, because they've done well. I mean, Steve Bruce has got a tune out of Chef Wednesday since he's gone in the door. You've got to say that. What about yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'd agree. I like the shout of Bruce. I think the reason I'd mentioned Bruce as well is because he's made a massive impact. I think Dean Smith as well. He had a good start with Brentford. We don't like him. But he's had a really good start with Villa as well since Grealish has come back. Yeah. To be fair, actually, they had a bit of a patch, didn't they? But since his favourite lad in Grealish has come back, they've started to hit the form again that they started to hit when he was playing Grealish. It's one of those really, mate. I don't know. It's as you said, Farker's done excellently. And I think Farker and Wilder, the reason we spoke about earlier is because they've been given time, and there's a lot of plaudits that need to be given for that, isn't there? But yeah, really good chat with Cook actually. I also think Warren's done a good job down at Rotherham. They look completely different when they played us last time. A little bit more resolute, and I think normally Rotherham go down without a shout.
Well, this is the thing. Anyone that can keep a team like that with the funds that they have in the division, if indeed he can, it screams good manager, right?
Course,
because they're on fucking shoestring, aren't they? You know what I mean? So I'd have to agree with that as well, mate.
And obviously, players wise, we've spoken about Norwich, we've spoken about Sheffield United players. But are there any other sort of top 6, top 8 players that have really stood out for you this year? Yeah. I know for me personally, I really like Ben Rama at Brentford. I like a lot of Brentford players. I like Romain Sawyers as well, Neil Maupay. We're going to get into our Championship 11 in a little while, which also I'll stay tuned for towards the end of the video. Yeah. But I really like the look of those Brentford players. I've always really liked, and he's not had a consistent season, but I've always liked Sam Hutchinson at Wednesday as well. I don't know what you think about that.
See, for me, like Bradley Dack's been unreal.
Quality,
Ollie Norwood. I've got Billy Shat. I've even got Wilson at Derby. You know what
Wilson.
I mean? Earlier parts of the season, he was class. Every time he had a free kick, it was just looked like it had been back in the net. Buendia at Norwich. Harvey Barnes for the short period that he was at West Brom. I mean, you could easily coincide with their. I mean, look at the game at our place. He played Gale there, and if you compare that with when Barnes was at Ellen Road. When we were down there at the Hawthorns, he was unreal, you know. Che Adams as well at Birmingham.
Definitely a shout out
another good season. So yeah.
And I feel like it's a good mention with Che Adams. I feel sometimes Birmingham don't get the rub of the green. I mean, he's had over 20 goals this season. Jukovic, like we spoke about in the other video, goals and assists.
I think I'm almost certain it might have been Burnley or someone was looking at Che Adams in January. I'm almost certain, and. That tells you all you need to know.
I think my top player for this season, sort of outside that obvious bracket, is probably Jarrod Bowen. I think. He's so dangerous, so good going forward. I mean, what do you think of his performance at Ellen Road?
Yeah, I mean, he's a top player. I mean, we were linked with him, weren't we? I don't know where that came from.
Throughout the January period as well.
And then all of a sudden it was like Tottenham and that were interested. Do you know what I mean? He's a talented boy. And I think he'll go on to do good things in the game. Even Grzycki, like, we're just on the whole, Grzycki's another one who's had a decent season.
Brilliant season. I mean? Yeah, I really like the look of, and we've spoken about him before as well. When you look at Villa as well, Conor Hourihane.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him maybe in and behind a Bamford or Roof, a really lovely left foot. He's definitely one that I'd look out for as well. And you've got on your list there, you know, Neil Maupay.
Yeah.
Every time he plays Leeds, he's dangerous, isn't he? Every single time.
How many goals has got to be up there, right? I think Billy Sharp is Billy Sharp.
I think it's Pookie, innit, who's top.
Yeah, sorry, Pookie. Yeah, I mean, with regards to Neil Maupay, obviously, I'm looking now at the goal scoring charts. 20 goals scored, 7 assists.
Can't argue with it, can you?
No, there's Tammy Abraham in there, 21 goals scored, 2 assists. 2 assists not great, but 21 goals scored is decent, you know what I mean? Them buses. But yeah, Timo Pukki, anyone scoring goals, you know what I mean, it's your bread and butter, right? So, you
definitely.
know, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, obviously you can't look past obviously Leeds United.
Yeah.
And we've got multiple players in there for me. I mean, Phillips, what a season.
Yeah.
Pablo, Roof.
Unreal.
Bamford's done well. Click.
Click's
had a brilliant season. I'd say it's his first season really in the Championship.
Yeah. It's mad to think that you know, they sent him out on loan, you know, that he just wasn't part of anyone's
Must have
plans.
been a serious problem with Christensen, wasn't it? Yeah.
But I think even when he came back, he was in that second lot of players, wasn't he? That Bielsa was like, didn't know, and then he broke himself in. So yeah, I think a lot of our squad's got to be up there. Do you know what I mean? Championship team of the season, they've got to be up there, definitely.
And at the start as well, we'd have probably said a lot of Berardi, but Berardi was brilliant at the start. But then Janssen came in, and he was so good when he came in, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Unfair sackings. I mean, there's only one for me that really stands out. You know, you guys wanted us to talk about this. I've just got it on my list, and unfairly sacked. Obviously, Darren Moore at West Brom. I mean, my question for that is topical. Would you say that that's going to come back and bite West Brom on the arse, or do you think they've got enough firepower?
Listen, I've seen a lot being said about it, a lot, the race card and stuff. I've heard people say, if it was a white manager, you know, and I'm not going to get into any of that, but there's a lot of reasons apparently as to why people think it was unfair, be it race or whatever, but ultimately, I think, and a lot of West Brom fans actually agreed with the decision, you know, is that they were on a poor run of form. Do you want to be going into the playoffs with such a poor run of form?
No, exactly.
I know, listen, we battered them, and then they went and got, I think they drew with Ipswich, wasn't it? Or it might have been Reading.
And then they beat Swansea recently.
But then since more,
they've been Brentford
3
as well.
games, is it?
Brentford
3 games on the bounce.
Yeah, they've played really, really well.
And listen, if they get a Jokanovic in the door, believe me, they're going to be an hard nut to crack in there. But rightly so. Yes, it was harsh. If that's what you're asking me, yes, it was harsh.
But then, you know, we're talking about the managerial situations with West Brom as well. You know, but like we've said previously as well, you look at the flip side of it, and you look at someone like Steve Bruce at Sheffield Wednesday, and how well he's done since Josh Lukai got sacked. And you know, they're going to be a real force now, aren't they? Obviously, Brentford with their new manager as well, they're starting to creep up a little bit more. And it's ethically it's not right, morally it's not right, especially when you're looking at Darren Moore. But when managers sort of get changed at this part of the season, sometimes it does have a knock-on effect, doesn't it? I mean, you look at if Jokanovic came in, Christ alive. I mean, we talk about 24 points to play for. You know, if maybe we drop some here and there, Blades drop some here and there, Norwich as well. Do you think they're going to be right in there? I don't know.
I know, that's the thing, isn't it? There is only 6 points. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's safe to say they're not going to get. For me, they're not going to be in there, but they will be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. I mean, Jay Rodriguez has had a fantastic season.
He has,
he's scored a lot of goals. Dwight Gale in the right position, on form. There's not many better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
He's that sort of player that's in between Premiership, Championship. You know what I mean?
Of course.
He's in there, but Championship all day scores goals for me.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, the playoffs massive. We could be in it. We might not be in it. But there are teams in and around the playoffs as well. It's so tight at the minute, so tight, and there are at least 5 or 6 teams who've still got a chance of getting in that top 6. You know, we're looking at the league now, and outside that top 6 periphery, we've still got Preston, we've still got Derby, Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday, Forest, Hull. I'm going to cut the line off at Hull because I think that's where it stops really, especially with Birmingham at the minute.
6 points.
So, you know, out of that sort of 7 to 12 bracket, Joe, who do you think could maybe make the last push for it?
I've said before, I do really like Preston, Sheffield Wednesday, just because the turnaround they've had under Bruce since he's come in. Bristol City will fall short, which I hope they do after Lee Johnson's comments. Derby will fall short.
Derby,
you know,
I kind of want to touch on Derby, because they're an odd team, aren't they? Because you've got once again, quality-wise, arguably a better side than Leeds, arguably a better side than Sheffield United as well.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But it's one of those things, isn't it? They're not able to strive and hit those levels anymore.
I think, do you know, I'm just happy that they're shy. Do you know what I mean? Just because of the whole situation with Frank Lampard.
Oh, of course,
I think it's crazy that he's actually being touted as being the Chelsea manager. It's mental, you know.
Season,
and look, it's a failure. I don't care what you say. What have they paid for Harry Wilson?
$3 million
for a loan fee. You know, you've got Mason Mount there as well that won't be cheap, right?
Joseph Sunu, the nabbed off us.
Yeah, exactly.
Wycombe.
They've spent money, and again, Derby, serial bottlers, but now they're not even bottlers, because for me, they're not going to get close enough, you know. I know they're only, a point off now.
Not strong enough. Not strong enough for me.
Mate, no.
And you know, when we talk about Preston as well, I like what Preston have got going on. They're sort of a little bit of a mould of Sheffield United, aren't they? You know, strong, very good at home.
And Alex Neil's a good manager.
Yeah, we've spoken about him before, haven't we? That Alex Neil's a good boss. I mean, we touched on Bristol City there. Once again, I mean, that performance down at Ashton Gate, and we beat them. I think we've seen them roll over a couple of times now. Obviously, they lost to Birmingham recently. I think, and drew to Ipswich. I think
got Sheffield United next as well.
They're falling. I think they're pretty much falling off, aren't they? But I mean, they've got some decent players down there, but not enough for me.
I don't really fancy Forest or Hull.
No, too inconsistent, aren't they? I mean, do you remember that time though? There was the time in the January period afterwards where Hull went from about 16th position to, I think it was about 8th or 7th, and beat us on the way there, didn't they? And they still can cause some upsets, touch wood, this season, Hull. But
for me, looking at it now, the top four, obviously take out the top two, us included, let's not try to think about us at the minute, but from 4th, 5th, 6th, I think that's your final 4th, 5th, 6th, West Brom, Borough, Villa.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It currently stands.
I'd agree. I think those,
and then it'll be either us or Sheffield United who makes.
I'd agree. I think the bottom, sort of the 7 to 12 there. I think they've done brilliantly, and I think there will be. They'll definitely have an impact. But I'm not 100% sure they are of that quality. Are they of the West Brom, of the Borough, of the Villa? Not for me. And it sort of moves me on nicely as well to opposition teams, and me and Joe wanted to touch on this as well. What would you say are, and we've not done it on the channel before, but the top stadiums in this division? I mean, Ellen Road, obviously, when it's rocking, for me, it's still the best in the league. But you know, what other stadiums, Joe, do you think when they're rocking, it's really tough to go there and get a result?
Villa Park's.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's unreal, isn't it? Just trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, the Den for us notoriously is
tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a nice place to go.
Hillsborough, I think Hillsborough, when Hillsborough starts rocking, it's a very good ground as well.
I like the Riverside as well.
Riverside,
I just like the
modern stadium. But then you got to give a little bit of plaudits as well. I quite like the small classic grounds, like QPR, like Loftus Road, where it's all enclosed on you as well.
Bramall Lane's like that.
Bramall Lane's like that, yeah.
School,
what about your favourite? What would be your favourite there?
See, I've never been, but it'd be Villa Park. Do you know what I mean?
Park.
Yeah, I would love to.
Rocking, innit? Absolutely rocking.
They're up there, aren't they, with us in terms of
stature?
Massive teams.
Yeah, definitely,
you know what I mean?
definitely. Obviously, then we move into, we've sort of touched on the 7 to 12 to 6 to 1 in the division. But what about the bottom three then? What teams do you think are in strife down there at the minute, Joe?
So for me, obviously Ipswich, they for me were like the poorest team we've played. You know, obviously we've got them at the last game of the season as well. Do you know what I mean? So, but for me, 24 points. 37's 23rd, they're down.
They're down, Ipswich,
Bolton as well, obviously they could be facing a winding up order. So for me it's a shootout then between Wigan, Millwall, Reading, Rotherham. You know what I mean? Can QPR get dragged in there?
Yeah, I mean, you look at those teams though and you think to yourself,
I'd love Millwall to go.
I would. I mean, that's the prayer in it to get them down. But you know, Reading, I mean, I know we created so many chances against them, but I didn't think that. I don't know what you thought. Did you think they were bottom three?
No. So first half, I think their new manager as well just got in. He started to get results. He got it all wrong.
Gomez,
he got it all wrong that first half. And by the time he got him in to change it up, because he left too much space when we were countering. He played some debutantes in the middle of the midfield.
Quite well. The first 10 they started quite well, though, didn't they?
And by the time he got him in for the second half, the game was already out of sight.
Game over. Yeah.
But I fancy Wigan and Reading. I fancy Reading to stay up.
Yeah, I think Millwall are going to go down. I think Rotherham and Reading will just stay up. I think Wigan have got enough quality to stay up
Good
as
at
well.
home as well.
Good at home as well. Right, guys, now we're going to move on to a segment of the show as well, where we're going to go through our Championship 11. I know a lot of you guys have requested this as well. Who would we have on our streams? We're getting quite a bit as well. So, Joe, you go first, mate. And Championship, what formation are you going first?
I'm going 4-4-2, mate. Rigid.
4-4-2.
You know what I mean? I'm just a grafter.
Yeah.
And in goal, it's Darren Randolph. To be fair, Middlesbrough would be a lot further down the table if it weren't for him. Obviously, I have the luxury of living up there. And
luxury.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, a lot of my mates, and I've seen it myself. You know, Darren Randolph's a top keeper. I've said to you earlier on, I'd have him at Ellen Road. Obviously, his distribution's not on the same level, and he won't fit. But in terms of in terms of points, I mean, look at the saves when we played them. Do you know what I mean? He's a top keeper.
Top keeper, yeah, he is. I agree. Premier League level, innit?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd also go with Randolph. I agree with Joe. I think he's top quality in this division, and you know, he was starting for West Ham, wasn't he, when he was there for a while?
Yeah, I think
in the Premier League. So it's a good snip from Borough there. They've kept hold of him. I think he's on a high wage. I think from what I've read, he's on a really high wage. So yeah, top. You get what you pay for, don't you? So right side, what have you gone for?
Right back, Aaron's mate, Norwich. Yeah. Top, I mean, he's come through their youth setup, I believe.
Yeah, he's only 19.
He's dangerous, man. Both their full-backs, to be fair, you know what I mean, bombing on the way they play. I think he's had a good season.
Yeah, so I've gone for a 4-1-4-1 formation, guys, just because I want the Bielsa formation in there as well. But yeah, I'd agree with Joe. Once again, we're match for match at the minute. I'd go Aaron's. I think he's quality. Bombs up and down that wing. We struggled against him, didn't we? We struggled against both of them.
Both of them,
yeah. And
who was it who played on the left-hand side?
It was Lewis. They've got a lad called Lewis. He's the other one who through the youth system. Centre halves, Joe. Are you going for centre halves?
I've got Pontus Jansson.
Of course.
I was going to go Pontus and Cooper. It's top.
But then we saw the game at the weekend.
But to me, arguably on the day, best centre back partnership. But I've gone for Egan next to Pontus. I think they complement each other well.
Yeah.
I just really rate Egan, and obviously I love Pontus. The only thing that bothers me about Pontus, when things aren't going his way, he's fucking...
Yeah, I'd probably go for Basham. I really like the look of Basham. He's normally played in a back three for United. And I'd go for Cooper. I would. Cooper's been there from the start. He had a shocker at the weekend. He really did. But, you know, one game at, 30 odd he's had. I think you know, you've got to stick him in there. Obviously Jansen and Berardi have gone, and Halmer and KP, but Cooper's always sort of been a constant, hasn't he? So I'd go with Cooper. Left side, mate. Have you got left side?
I haven't got a left back.
No,
I couldn't think of a left back.
I think we agreed earlier that we'll probably go with Jamal Lewis from Norwich, didn't we?
And I apologise to any opposing fans. Listen, my knowledge is top heavy Leeds. So if any opposing fans are watching this and they're griefing me, then so be it. But it's top heavy Leeds.
What about your midfield, mate?
So on the right, I've gone Bowen. I'm sticking Jared Bowen on the right.
Definitely.
Top talent.
Top.
Like I say, because I've gone 4-4-2, I'm putting KP and Stiepermann in the middle of the park. And out on the left, I've got Pablo Hernandez.
Yeah, just a quick word about Stiepermann as well. I mean, the transition to actually be brave to put him from a left back to a centre attacking midfield, and how good he's been. I mean, it's a massive stroke by Farker, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's brilliant by Farker. Obviously I've gone for a 4-1-4-1, so I have to put KP in that middle. Notable shout probably to Norwood. Norwood's quality player in that position as well, but you've got to go with KP. I think he's a little bit more physical, and I think he breaks up play a little bit better than Norwood. On that right, I'm going to go with Ben Rama. I mean, we've still got to come up against him. He's got 12 assists already this season, 7 goals
top level,
for Brentford as well. He's not been doing that well. In the middle, I've gone with Pablo. And the other centre midfield I was going to go with Jack Grealish, who I bang on about quite a lot, don't I?
He styles his look on it.
But yeah, I was going to go with Grealish, but I sort of...
he's been in and out though, hasn't he? At the end of the day, he's been in and out. So Because he's injured, right? If he'd been, consistent, then fair enough.
Definitely. But I agree with Joe. I mean, I'd put Bowen in the middle, but Christ alive, he's great out wide as well. What about, have you got a left winger there, Joe?
Yeah, Pablo. I went Pablo.
Pablo on the left. Yeah. Fair enough. So I'd probably go with Joe Lolly as well. I don't know what's happened here. I'd go with Joe Lolly, left side as well. I think he's had sort of an in and out season, but I really liked him. When he's on form, he's saw Huddersfield, didn't we? He's quality when he's on his day.
Player.
And striker?
I've gone Kemar Roof and Pookie.
Yeah, I've gone Pookie as well. I think, I mean, to get him a free transfer.
Yeah.
And to wrap it all up, Joe, out the Championship, who would be your signing of the season?
Right, Pookie, wasn't it?
Pookie.
Yeah,
I'd
he's the top goal scorer.
Got him on a free.
Got him on a free from Scotland. You know what I mean? It's mad, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's definitely Pookie. I mean, what is he on? 24 goals. Got about, and he's. I mean, you saw him. I mean, week and obviously on the revert to Leeds, he's always a fox. He's always there, isn't he? He's always there. Really good play. Really good signing by Norwich. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. A little bit of a Championship review.
Like I say, just apologising to any opposing fans if you haven't got your team in there. It's very top heavy with Norwich. There's only Borough, that's it. I've got Borough Randolph, but he's the best keeper in the Championship. But the rest of it's.
Well, it's combined 11 of the best players, isn't it?
Course,
the best players in the division, and you put it on form as well, don't you, Joe? And at this minute in time, in your opinion, that's your side. In my opinion, that's it's just how it is at the minute. Your best players are your teams as well. You might be an Ipswich fan, you might be a Wigan, Brentford, Wednesday, Swansea, whatever. Get your players in the section below. Obviously, we'll give you a comment back on what we think. I'll catch you in a bit.
Pleasure.
See you in a bit.
See ya.